Very good evening. Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. I wish you all a very happy Dashara. I hope you had a very good celebration of Navratri and Dashara. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Sai Satcharita, the life and teachings of Shirdi, Sai Baba. We'll continue from where we stopped, that is chapter 36, Sais, all-pervasiveness, and the fulfillment of his blessings. My obeisance to Shri Ganesh, to Shri Saraswati and Shri Guru Maharaj, to the family deity, to Shri Sita Ramachandra, my most humble obeisance, I bow in reverence to the most venerable Guru, Shri Sai Nath. So we will be continuing with the chapter of two gentlemen from Gomantak. The person who had lost his 30,000 rupees and someone had stolen, and how, the same person comes in, the person who had stolen the money comes and returns to him, how the fakir comes and gives him a remedy, in the sense, asks him to follow a ritual, and then he says, he has to meet Sai Baba from Shirdi. So this was the background from where we stopped. Now we'll continue from verse 106. How great, how inconceivable is our good fortune. Never did we have his darshan before, nor meditated on him, or had even heard of him, and yet he remembered us. Oh, how blessed then must be those devotees of God who had been engrossed in his company for years together and were serving him day and night. Rare indeed is the good fortune of all those with whom Sai sported and laughed and sat, talked and walked, ate, lay down, or with whom he got angry. I'm going to reread this. I'm going to explain a very beautiful understanding from my own experience and tell you how does the master, live in this world when they have manifested, in the form of the great gurus. Rare indeed is the good fortune of all those with whom Sai sported. Okay, the word is sported. And laughed and sat, talked and walked, ate, lay down, or with whom he got angry. This is actually very sweet. The Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, he is the very form of the divine Lord Almighty himself. He is the manifestation of the Parabrahman, the God himself. So in the company of the Guru, you must be blessed to even sit next to him and eat, talk, or even walk with him, travel with him, or do all sorts of sport. No, it is a sport. Every action performed by the great masters is only to impart knowledge, to put you on the path of spirituality, to put you on the path of dharma. No? See, they come here to establish dharma, which is every individual should follow the path of righteousness, and he ensures he uplifts you on the path of spiritual, or he confers upon you the grace so that your spiritual wheel can happen. Now, it is not everybody's good fortune that they can sit with this great master. See, what are they saying? Laugh, talk, sit, walk, or even lay down, or for that matter, with whom he got angry. It is very sweet. I'm going to narrate my own experience with the journey of my journey with my master, Krishna Guruji. Everything that is said here is so true. Initially, when I walked the path with him in the initial days, right, in initial years, I still did not understand the significance of this Guru. Who is the Guru? See, I understood he is the great Lord Almighty. I had my own experiences with him. The conviction, he is the divine being. He is the divine Lord Almighty Lord. He is the divine Lord Almighty who has manifested, donned the garb of that human being was very, very clear to me. But somewhere, still you have this dichotomy between, he is the Lord himself, but how can he behave like this? He would perform this sport. See, the word is called sport. He's so cute. He will keep himself incognito when he's performing his those actions or leelas. See, leela is nothing but sport, right? Whether he's sleeping, whether he's sitting, he's eating, he's talking to someone, he will just portray a very beautiful behavior of himself. So to each his own. I could not take him to be anything except Lord Sri Krishna himself. So that was an absolute conviction. But for me, his way of human behavior with different people, I was deluded. I got mentally affected. I said, no, how can you be like this? You're the God Almighty. And how can people treat you? So I would fight with him and he would get angry with me and he would fight doubly hard with me, So it's like my Guruji will say, it is what you reflect, I will reflect back in you. So if you give me love, I will reflect 1,000 times back the same love. If you give me hatred, I will reflect back in you the hatred. If you reflect me goodness, I will reflect that back in you. So it is what you show to me is what I reflect. I am just your reflection. See, the self reflects in everybody. Like, this is a very beautiful lesson. It says the self, it's like a sunshine. The sunshine is equal on everybody. It's a reflection. You cannot actually catch hold of the sunshine. So like this, the Divine Lord Mighty is a reflection in you. So it is what you want to give him. If you offer him hatred, he's going to offer it back in 1,000 times more. So my Guruji, my Krishna Guruji will always say, give me love. That is what I will return to you 1,000 times more. But this is a very tough process. That is the process of purification. That is the process of cleansing your mind, purifying your heart, mind, and surrendered. Your surrender has to happen unto the lotus feet of the Divine Lord, your Master. So that time I didn't understand. So I would get very angry and I would fight with him and he would fight with me back endlessly. But I sometimes felt I didn't understand this lesson. He's only, it's a sport. He's just playing. There is nothing that he's doing which you have to get tainted with. But for you to understand, do not fall prey to what the gurus show you, because that is called Maya. So where is your faith? That absolute conviction that my Guruji is only, playing the sport. I gave you the very beautiful, I explained last week, I think so. I don't know which lesson, but in one of the lessons we were doing, I explained to you about how my Gurudev's Gurudev, Lord Dattatreya, he's putting this Maya in front, he's creating this Maya in front of the gods. But the gods did not deter. He showed himself with two beautiful women with a liquor bottle in the hand. But he was just deluding them. Then when the gods bowed down to him and said, Gurudev, please, we all know that this is your Maya. Kindly come and save, So he then, once he understood that the gods realized that this is a delusion, then he, tells them, yes, I will come and kill Sahasrar Arjun. I've already explained the story. You can go and refer back. So then he takes the form of Parashuram. And the most beautiful thing is, even though he just takes a form of Parashuram and then comes to kill Sahasrar Arjun, but you need to understand, Parashuram learns under Lord Dattatreya as this guru. So then Lord Dattatreya teaches him the most beautiful scripture called Tripura Rahasyam. It's a very, very beautiful text. One of the most profound scriptures to understand how everybody, even though it is Lord Parashuram or any manifestation of the Divine Lord Almighty, you have to meet your Guru and go on the path of spirituality. So everybody must study under the tutelage of their master. And if you have this master, please make use of that. In fact, you must go listen to the Dasabodh Satsang, today's Satsang of my Krishna Guruji on Krishna Knows. He explains how it is so important that we do not waste time and get attached to this family's body, this body's family, relatives, friends, colleagues, you name it. We are just lost in all these people relationships. You need to cut asunder all of that and focus on your spiritual wheel. Why are you wasting your time? My Guruji was giving he was telling us, we just said, oh, we finished Navratri, we need a day's break. What is this day's break? Are you incapable? There is no break in the world of spiritual. You cannot say that you're tired. You have to keep working. This is how my Krishna Guruji is. He doesn't take any break. There's no break for him. I've never seen him stop. He is always on time. He's in time. He's on time. He is very particular about his satsangs. He will never, miss his satsangs. He's too particular about it. So he was like, what is this break and all that? You people are what? Old, is it? Are you incapable? So this is the greatness of my Guruji. So he comes, he manifests to impart this knowledge, to help us become disciplined in our life, to become godly, goodliness. This is the beautiful word which my Krishna Guruji has coined. You have to become the goodliness. Goodness is very important. That is the way you will evolve. And the most important thing that I have told you today is that reflection. It is what you reflect. So if you give anger, you're going to get anger 1,000 times back more. So you're going to become angry. So that is why we have to always say beautiful things. You have to sing the praises of and the glories of the divine Lord Almighty. You have to give your love, devotion. Then your devotion will grow manifold in manifold. So the divine Lord Almighty will bestow upon you. But if you're venomous, if you're spewing venom, you're talking ill about people, and you're doing things that is prohibited actions, and then trying to sit in the satsang and say, I'm a spiritual being, you're not going to go anywhere. It's the same for everybody. My Guruji is an ocean of compassion. He'll always tell me, yes, you have to evolve. What use is it if you get angry? See, you don't have to get angry. Say that in a nice manner. Why are you getting angry? Even this evening at the tea table, I was just having a small conversation with him. At the time I said, I feel terrible and I really get angry when people do not offer Guru Dakshina to you. It's a very important thing. But it doesn't affect my Guruji. He is like least bothered. He says, you think what I care about all that? It doesn't matter. See, if they fail, it is their problem. Sometimes they have to learn the hard way. And sometimes I don't want to take it. Like, in this entire chapter, many chapters, Baba only takes from select few people. It's not for everybody. Because when they accept, Baba has said, very beautifully said in this, he gives it back tenfold times the same, whatever he takes it from you. Or he confers upon you the grace of love and devotion and puts you on the path of spirituality. So the great divine masters know who to take from, what to do. But yes, as his ardent devotee and disciple, it hurts in the sense, I cannot accept that somebody can't to give him the respect of who he is. It hurts. But beside that, there's nothing that it matters to me. Like my Guruji says, focus in your world, and we have to evolve on the path of spiritual. So it is a fortunate, you are very fortunate if you get that grace to sit with him every single day, eat food, have that satsang, even speak to him for whatever the time. But sometimes we look at him as an ordinary human being and we talk all the rubbish stuff. Why should it matter, whatever that's happening in the world? He's least bothered. You think he cares about it? This morning also my Guruji gave this very important satsang. Talk that which will give you progress in your world. Do not talk frivolous stuff. We are not interested in the material world, what happens. Yeah, you just need to have knowledge about what's going on in the world. Keep up to that. But I don't need to know some crap that is there happening in this world. You have to only speak about spiritual, progress. What is going, or he'll say, if you're into music or if I'm into a technology, talk about what's happening the latest in your career. I will help you with that. I will give you knowledge, and I know whether you're going on the right path or not. So why are we discussing people or petty things in this world? I'm not here. I am the Guruji here. I am the Guru. Are you wasting my time? So please don't waste my time. This is the teachings my Guruji gives. So when you have this opportunity, always make use to grow on the path of spiritual. Don't waste his time by talking, sharing your problems, what's happening. He knows. But see, take his guidance, use his knowledge, take that knowledge to grow both in your spiritual and in your professional world. That is what you have to do. It's not that he's here to guide you on the career. It's just that you can ask few questions on the subject. He might be able to give you just pointer, do this or do that. That is what he will point out. But he's not sitting here again bothering about what happens in your office, what happens in your personal life. It doesn't matter to him. All he's interested in is helping you, break out of the bondage of this material worldly existence. That is that is what the master is here for. So in this verse, it is very beautifully explained how fortunate one must be to be able to speak to him, sit with him. He does all these things only as a sport. He's not interested in anything. He's not even there. He might be sitting in that place or eating, but he's always lost in his own self. He's all at every point in time. He's the Sachidanand who's lost in his self alone. He's not there around anywhere. That is how my Guruji lives as an avadut. He doesn't have to indulge in anything. That is the greatness of this master. So use that opportunity to gain and evolve on the path of spiritual alone. Although no service was rendered to him at our hands, yet he was moved with such a deep compassion for us. Then how blessed is your good fortune who are constantly in his company. Oh my God, this is the truth. We are, at Krishna Ashram. I will tell you, whoever, in whatever capacity people are associated with him, it is our good fortune. I am eternally grateful. So grateful that I'll always say this to my Krishna Guruji. I am eternally indebted to you. I can never repay you in any form or capacity. No Guru Dakshina, no other service except attaining that highest spiritual will be my greatest Guru Dakshina to you. It will be the best offering because my Guruji's effort has to bear fruit with me. If I don't live this lesson and if I don't live what he's teaching, what use is then for me and him having him spend that much of time and effort on me giving that knowledge? So you have to make it, your life goal, your only sole objective in your life, to become that divine being, to be the epitome of goodness, compassion, love, grandeur, glory, everything that Lord Sri Krishna talks about, which he has beautifully explained in chapter 16. Go back and refer to chapter 16 in Bhagavad Gita, verse 1, 2 and 3. That is the virtue you have to acquire. It is extremely important. Otherwise, this knowledge is mere book knowledge. Even that one word, that good this, I keep repeating what my Krishna Guruji teaches. Even this morning, he gave me a very profound lesson. He said, I got a little angry with my old mother, this body's mother. She was acting in a weird manner. She needed importance. She wanted sympathy because she couldn't listen and she couldn't hear. I was like, why is this happening? Why does she need so much attention? She's at an age, she should just be taking the name of the divine Lord Almighty. My mom is a devoted being. So sometimes it's a human nature. So my Guruji was very beautifully explaining. He said, look, every human being goes through these phases in life. We all want our importance. The most important thing to overcome is that ego, seeking importance. It could be either inflated ego or deflated ego. Everybody has to go through that. We have to destroy our ego. That is why my Guruji will never draw any attention towards himself. He'll say, I don't want to be known in this world. That is who my great master is. Only those select few, those who have to come to him or get that much of knowledge, are the only ones who will come on their own accord at the right time when he wants them to come and be there with him or learn that from him. Not otherwise. He's not interested. He says, I have taught enough for 20 plus years now. I don't see anybody applying that knowledge and evolving on the path of spirituality. What use is to that knowledge if you do not apply in your life? You need to apply. Use that knowledge. So that is when you will be able to grow. Otherwise, what use is it? You can sit for his satsang. My Guruji says, yeah, you can sit in my satsang. But what is the use if you don't experience and you don't practice it, you don't apply it? The experience is very important. But how do you experience? The experience happens when you apply that knowledge, little bit at least. So all the experience comes to you and then you need to apply that knowledge. But if you do not apply that knowledge, what use is it? It's like sitting there and it's like a dog's tail. My Guruji will say, Kutte ka dum, make you sudru. Means, why should I change? I'm like the dog's tail who doesn't want to straighten out. That is what happens. So he says, see, everybody has got ego. I have got my own ego. He crushes the great masters. Their job, what it is? They will crush you. They literally crush your ego. So you have to overcome that ego. And then the ego, what does it say? I am hurt, or it gets inflated. I am the greatest, I am the mightiest. Last week we did Devi Mahatmyam. What did we learn? Empowering ourselves, empowering the divine being within ourselves, using all those weapons, that potencies, the principle which is which acts, which performs the action, and to rise above, to becoming divine and destroying the demons called ego, hatred, arrogance, anger, you name it. We have to only, evolve. My Guruji will say, anger needs to be always used. See, God has given you a particular nature, but that nature is not for you to go downwards, but to rise upwards. Or that nature is given so that you can serve a purpose in this world. How do you serve a purpose? That anger can be channelized to fight for a good cause, not to use it against, my own Guruji or someone else who are like my Guru. I don't have to fight with my Guruji. That's what I said. In the initial days, when I was completely disconnected, I used to fight with him. Why should I fight with him? That is the anger I need to overcome. It's my tendency. I need to be able to control my anger. The controlling of the mind is extremely important. So that is what my Guruji taught this morning, where I missed completing the lesson. What he taught was that, look, everybody has their ego. You need to have patience. You just need to let it be. We are not here to get carried away by what people say, behave, do things. How should it matter? Because that is what will pull us down. We cannot get attached to these, family, relationships, nothing. Don't even bother. You need to be focused. Ekagrata, single pointed devotion to your spiritual wheel alone. So be very, very focused in attaining that. Why are you getting carried away with all of the other things? Because they are going to be detrimental to your life. Whether it is friends, family, all of these people. Your focus is do your swadharma. What is your swadharma? That which your body is supposed to work. Whatever work that is there, you have to do that very dedicatedly and in absolute discipline and devotion. Then the next thing you need to focus is to evolve on the path of spirituality. You have to try harder. Baba has already taught us deep sadhana. What does deep sadhana mean? See, we can't attain this perfection overnight. It is not even going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down many a time. But every single time you fall down, that is the learning. See, till you don't burn your finger, you're going to keep doing the same mistake, because your mind is like that monkey. It's never going to listen. So when you burn the finger hard, you understand, oh, that's hot, I should not touch, I should not go there. So that is why that experience is a must. And after that, use that knowledge to grow. So don't waste that time. Don't waste that knowledge God given. Then oh, I did this, so I should not do this. And that is why on the path of spirituality, whenever you have made a mistake, when you have learned the lesson, after many days, or not days, or whenever the time is right, appropriate, when you least expect it, the same test will come back again to see whether you have understood that lesson or you're going to repeat the same mistake. But please note this one very important thing, the same lesson is going to come back to you over and over and over again until you need to be able to overcome it. If you are not able to overcome, that lesson is going to come back to you till the time you completely evolve beyond that. Otherwise, then you will be stuck right there. You cannot move from there. So this is the way the spirituality works. This is the process. So use this beautiful God-given life to evolve on the path of spiritual alone. So, with all your good, meritorious deeds, you have, I feel, molded them into a human form, and thus, oh, you highly fortunate ones, have brought this figure to Shirdi. It is by my virtue of our merit of several past births that we have reached Shirdi, and we feel that for this holy darshan of Shri Sai, we should offer him all our all. This most virtuous Sai is himself an avatar, conducting himself as a great Vishnu devotee. He is truly the shoot of the tree of knowledge, or a veritable sun in the sky of knowledge. And great indeed is our merit that we have come across this Masjid Main, the mosque, and that he got our vows fulfilled from us, while simultaneously giving us darshan. To us, this is our Datta. And it was he who commanded us to observe the vow. It was again he who made place for us in that boat and has brought us to Shirdi for his darshan. With this, I'll give you a very beautiful experience of my Guruji's disciple, which she had said, she had shared her experience to me long, long ago. Now, in the earlier story of the same person, the two gentlemen from Gomantak, that's from Goa, here he's mentioning how he made a place in that boat when the Sepoy told him there's no place, right? So the form was Sai himself. He made everything happen. So this disciple of my Guruji had a small daughter, and my Guruji had instructed her that she need to fly back. She lived in another country. She lived in Singapore. She had to fly back there. So that day she had booked the ticket and she was alone and she had a lot of luggage. So she was flying off from Bangalore airport. When she arrived at the airport, it was a huge queue. And she was wondering, oh God, she had to leave for some reason on that particular day. And that particular day, it was quite crowded. The flight was full, and due to some traffic issues, she couldn't make it before time. So she just arrived at the airport and she found a massive queue out there. And she didn't know what to do. She was alone and with a small child. At that time, she just prayed, Krishna, Lord Krishna, you wanted me to go today and see what is the case. Now you only come and save me. You take me inside. I don't know how I'm going to manage this. And she was standing in the queue. And suddenly, from nowhere, after a while of 15 minutes or waiting for 20 minutes, there comes a beautiful air hostess. And she says, you've requested that you have a child and you have to, be taken inside. So I'm here to accompany you. So please come over. And then she said, I did request. So she didn't know, but because in all that craziness, so she said, okay, let me go. Must be someone else has requested. She didn't know. So she just followed this air hostess who accompanied her. She got her check-in. Her check-in happened easily. She crossed all that line. She went through the check-in. She was cleared. Her security check-in happened. Immigration got cleared with no time. She didn't have to wait in the queue at all, and she was accompanied right till the end, till she boarded her flight. And then suddenly she was trying to, get the name of this person to thank her. She disappeared. She was no more there. I think she saw the name, or she tried to find out who this person was. She wanted to thank her, but she was not there in the entire flight. Like, they had the crew, right? The air hostess, they had all this, they had a team. So she was trying to ask them, where is this person? They said, no, we don't have anybody like that. She said, no, this person accompanied me. Then they said, no, she was not there. There's nobody like that. This is the power of the divinity. That's the faith. So Lord Sri Krishna appeared to her. It is her faith in her Guru. He said, why bother? I am there, no? So he came. She prayed, please come and now save me. Take me ahead. You told me, right? That is the devotion. So beautifully it happened. Can you believe? This is real time. So like this, when you have the devotion, you will get your experiences. It is not just the God is saying, oh, you believe in me and I'm coming, and then he doesn't come. No, the God always keeps his word. But are you keeping your word? Please see to that you keep your word. Become the divine being and make him proud. In this way, Sai has given us an awareness of his all-pervasiveness, his dwelling in the heart of all, and his omniscience. Looking at his smiling countenance has brought great joy to our hearts. We forgot the woes and cares of worldly life and could not contain our blissful happiness. May our mind accept resolutely that whatever is destined, let it happen, but may a loving devotion at Sai's feet remain forever, and may his sacred form always be before our eyes. See, this is again a very important lesson. What is Baba telling here? What is Baba teaching here? May our mind accept resolutely that whatever is destined. Don't oppose your destiny. See, every body comes with a prarabdha karma. There is a certain destiny. So just kindly accept it. But when you have the grace of the Guru, why fear? That's what Baba says. Why fear when I'm here? He cushions that thing for you. That event will happen, but the impact will be reduced. There is certain events that is going to happen, but the great great gurus, the great masters, they will avert that calamity from happening. But you need to have that faith in them, that absolute conviction them. My Guruji is there. Why fear when he is there? What shall befall? Nothing. So accept your destiny and let it be and go ahead. Nothing shall befall you. His grace is there. His benediction on your head is there. Why worry? Why fear? That is the faith you need to have in him. Have that faith. I just narrated a beautiful, similar story that happened with one of my Krishna Guruji's disciple. Like this, there are so many different things. I actually gave you my own experience long ago. How there was a lady when I was shopping, when I got very angry with my Guruji and I said, I don't want Krishna in my life. And from nowhere, this old lady was talking exactly the language of my Guruji. And she was talking like somebody that very familiar, like how I would talk to Lord Krishna. And those were the words. Those were like the words of my Guruji's wisdom. And I was amazed. How does this lady know? And she took care of me, whether I've eaten, whether I was all right, because I didn't call my Guruji for 2-3 days. That's exactly what had happened. I disconnected. I didn't turn on my phone for a couple of days, and I'm like, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want, when you're in anger, you do all these kinds of weird things. But the Guru is very compassionate. He's a compassionate mother who knows the child is angry. So he's all-pervasiveness, and he's using someone else to take care, to ensure that you are doing well. Your well-being is always taken care by the master. So why bother? But you overcome, accept your destiny and go on that path. Life is very beautiful. And then you'll see goodness in everybody. That love will open. What my Guruji says, sometimes when I'm very angry, I'll start crying. I wouldn't like anything. I have to battle my anger. Today that I am, have come a long way. This is not who I used to be. It is only my Guruji's grace. It is his, divinity which is working through me, this body. This body is just a tool. It is him who's working through this body. And that anger, what I had, that angry person, he'll say, I wouldn't even smile many a time. Yeah, angry all the time. But yes, it has taken me. You have to evolve through that. Those are the hidden tendencies that comes out. See, in the world, we portray to be a very happy person and all that. But internally, we'll always be sad. We have double face. Two face we have, chameleon sort of like. We exude, we show something, to the world who we are not. But when you come in front of the Divine Master, you will become naked, not physically. I'm sorry, I'm making sure I clear. I hope you understand. Naked doesn't mean physically naked. Naked means everything that you think you don't stand is what will come forth. All your tendencies, which is just hidden and it's bottled up, will just one fine day burst open. And that time you'll wonder, who is this really me? And then you have to fight your demons. That is what is Devi Mahatmyam all about. Everything, including Bhagavad Gita, teaches you have to fight and overcome that Kauravas. What is this Kauravas inside of you? Lust, greed, arrogance, anger, all that attachment, you name it, passion. Everything talks, every scripture talks the same lesson. There is no difference. So you need to fight yourself. There is nobody to fight outside. And what happens is these Gurujis are very smart. They're very cute. Because you have to fight and overcome, whoever is there around you, they make them a catalyst so that, you, in the whole scheme of things, see, only the Gurus, the great masters can do this. In all that action, that play that happens, there is always a growth, a progress for everybody in their own way. So, he makes, it'll appear like, someone is a, boogie to you and you become a boogie in somebody else's life. But we have to overcome these boogies. So my Guruji will say, till that time you don't control your mind, that object will keep coming in front of you. So it is your mind which needs to be fought with, not that object. The object has been always the same, but it is your mind which is disturbed. So who is the culprit here? It is the mind. That's not the object. Object is there. The liquor is going to intoxicate you. But why are you going and drinking? Just because the liquor is kept in front of you. That is what you need to understand. So this is how my great master is. So when I used to battle this, I was a very happy person. That is what I projected to the world. I'm such a happy person. But inwardly was a very sad and upset. I was not accepting my destiny or accepting my life. I never liked what I did or I lived. Because I had expectations of life, or I had my own understanding about life, which was wrong. Until I met my Guruji, this, the what I wanted from life was not clearly understood by me. So that then my Guruji, he explained, this is all your expectations. You have too many desires. You think this is how the world has to be. The world is not made the way you think. The world is always going to be the way it has been programmed to be. So accepting is you need to accept it. That is what your Baba say. Let it happen. Whatever is destined, let it happen. You need to accept that. When you accept that, life becomes beautiful. And then I had to fight this anger within myself. So my Guruji opened up all these things. And that time what he does is, every event happens. It's a play again. You should know that the divine masters only come here to teach. And everything around them is just a sport. And you have to sport. And if I have to say, right, in Lord Sri Krishna's life, the gopis in Vrindavan, everybody wanted him. So there used to be two different, different sides. So Radha's team will not get along with Chandravali's. So they always hated. So everybody Radha had spies with her. All the gopis would spy for her. Where is Krishna going? And they would be, they would hate Krishna, but they love Radha. So like that, Radha Rani would then know what Krishna is doing, where he went. But that is sweetness. It's all about love. Everybody is in love with the divine being, but you don't have to hate each other. But this politics exists. My Guruji will say, yeah, you think politics exist everywhere. But that's Leela. It's how you look at it. So you have to rise high above. Why this politics? I'll tell you a very sweet thing. Why this politics exists. You can use the word whether it is politics or whether it is, I don't know what other word you want to use. You can call it whatever that might be. But you need to understand, the term is here is Leela, play. It's a sport. Everybody's sporting in his, in his movie, I would call. He's the writer of the movie. He's the director of the movie. He's also the actor of the movie. He's the hero. He's the heroine. He's everything in this movie, okay? He's the one who will even rewrite the script. He will even change the whole story however he likes to. That is who Lord Sri Krishna is. He's so cute. Being the master of the universe, he just loves to have fun. And that is why he's called Rasika, highest enjoyer of everything, the Rasas. That is why it's called Ras Leela. How sweet, And in that, what he does? He keeps trying to play mischief. That is one of his qualities, an attribute of the divine Lord. He's very playful. What he does in that is, he will try to instigate one against the other, and then they just watch fun. For him, it's just Leela, He wants to see whose devotion is high. In all of this, what you need to attain is that highest devotion to him. So he's triggering that fire in your belly so that you can say, I want to be the highest devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. So he's making everybody run that rat race. And my Guruji has taught beautifully, he gave a very nice example. At the end of the day, all the rivers meet in the same ocean. And then you become one with him. So it's like we individually, if you don't have a competition, then how are you going to have that fire in your belly that I want to love, I want to have the highest devotion for my Guruji or for Lord Sri Krishna? How will you have that? So the fire in the belly is important. So how does he ignite? He will have one against the other. So we call my Guruji, you're the Kala Kandi master. You'll keep doing, you'll instigate one against the other. That is all play. But you know what? The bottom line is his sole purpose is that he ignites that spark inside of you to have that fire to attain that highest devotion to that one. But if you have no competition, then you're the winner. You're the Olympic gold winner, and you've got the gold medal. How does it feel excited? No. Are you excited by just knowing you have no opponent against you, or you don't have anybody to have a fight against or compete against? You don't have anybody. Then how is it exciting? It's not, right? There must be some thrills, there must be some romance, everything. It's a spice. There has to be some climax. All that happens. It's like a movie. So Lord Sri Krishna's Golok Vrindavan is this 70mm screen, big time movie, This beautiful plays happening all around. So you need to enjoy the sweetness. That is what you have to take from it. It's not about somebody's against, somebody's for. Yeah, what we are learning here is we have to become the divine being. We have to inculcate the goodness in this world. Love everybody. That is what. We should not harbor evil avarice. Please know that the Lord is living in your heart and you're harboring all of this, do you think He's going to ever reveal Himself to you? No, on the contrary, you're covering Him so much more that you're not allowing Him to come out. Why are you doing that? So don't do that. Open your heart. Learn this. Learn how to be good. It's not a joke. Like my Guruji taught in one of the beautiful satsangs, we need to see God in everything. To see goodness in everything is not an easy thing. To be able to see God in everybody is not easy. But yet we have to strive hard. We have to practice. That is what sadhana means. So you need to get that experience. You need to get the understanding of what you learn, and you need to evolve on the journey. Till you don't make effort, you can't go anywhere. You can't experience the sweetness. That sweetness is what comes off after you overcome through all of these things. And that is why Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita very beautifully has explained what seems to be very bitter, what seems to be very tough in the beginning is nectar sweet in the end. That is what it is. How unfathomable, how incomprehensible is Sai Leela, and so boundless His favor. I feel that I should surrender to you this my body, O gracious one. But now listen to another story attentively for a moment. The letter that came from Sai's mouth was proven indelible as the writing of Brahmadeva himself. Sakaram Aurangabadkar, who lived in Solapur city, was eager for a son, so his wife came to Shirdi. Having heard of the wonderful life story of the holy saint Sai Baba, she came for his darshan, bringing her stepson with her. 27 years had passed since her marriage, and yet there was no child born to her. She was tired making vows to various gods and goddesses and was totally dejected at heart. And so this Suhasini came to Shirdi with the purpose of taking Baba's darshan. However, a doubt arose in her mind. How will I find Baba alone, since he is always surrounded by the devotees? And how can I convey to him my heart's wish? Since she was worried. The mosque is open and so is the courtyard. There are always devotees around Baba. How can I find one private moment to relate to him my eager, heartfelt desire? She and her stepson, Vishwanath by name, stayed in Shirdi for 2 months, serving Baba faithfully. Once, when Vishwanath or anyone else was not near Baba, listened to the lady's entreaty to Madhav Rao. Please, at least you convey to Baba my ardent wish when he is at peace and ease and at the proper moment. And you tell him this only when he is alone and not surrounded by his devotees, in such a manner as nobody can hear it. Madhav Rao replied, Look, this mosque is never empty. Someone or other keeps coming all the time for Baba's darshan. This Sai Darbar is open to all. No one is forbidden to come here. But I will tell you this much. Try to understand it. To try is my job. The giver of success is God. In the end, only He gives peace and your worries will vanish. How true that is true. Trying is a must. But what happens, whether it's success or failure, is nothing to do with us. So you have to do your part of the deal and let God do His part of the deal. What has to come to you will come to you. And then you know what? That itself is freedom. Because you're not expecting anything. Whether it's a favorable result or unfavorable result. Everything is at His feet alone. Let His will happen. That's the highest freedom that you can attain in your life. However, you must sit in the Sabha Mandap below on a stone with a coconut and incense sticks in hand when Baba sits down to his meal. After his meal, when I find him in a pleased, relaxed mood, I will signal to you. Only then you should come up. By and by, when an opportune moment came, on one occasion, as Sai's meal was over suddenly, such an opportunity came. When Sai had washed his hands and Madhav Rao was wiping them dry. Seeing Baba in a cheerful mood, just see what he did. With a sudden gush of affectionate love, Baba pinched Madhav Rao's cheek, so cute. Listen to the loving dialogue that followed on the occasion between God and his devotee. Courteous that Madhav Rao always was, pretending to be angry, he said to Baba jokingly, Is this really proper? We do not want such a mischievous God who squeezes the cheek so hard. Are we in any way obliged to you? Is this the fruit of our intimacy with you? In all these 72 generations of our association, said Baba, have I even touched you with my hand? Just try to remember. Madhav said, we want a God who will always give us ever new sweet meats to eat when we are hungry. We do not want either your honors or the aeroplane from heaven. Give me only this one gift that I remain grateful to you forever. Absolutely. See, all that you can ask the Divine Lord Almighty is to be devoted unto their lotus feet and to eternally have love and devotion and be grateful to the Divine Master. It's not about anything else. There is no hankering about material worldly things. It's no use, let me tell you. Whatever is there will also go away someday. You come empty, you go empty. Nothing is yours. Whatever the Divine has to bestow upon you, it will be there. But every single day you have to strive to, be devoted, show that love, learn new things, understand, go deeper in the subject. That is what is very important. Go deep in the aspect of devotion. There's a very beautiful chapter which my Guruji will be very soon doing as part of Uddhav Gita. In that, an entire chapter is all about how do you serve the devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. How should the devotional service be offered to him? In that, every aspect is spoken. What kind of incense sticks, what kind of flowers that needs to be offered, what kind of, how do you bathe him, how do you, clean him. Every aspect is so beautifully described in detail. How do you worship him? Every chapter. This is also mentioned in Guru Charitra. This is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful things, devotional service. You should go listen to my Guruji's satsang on Srimad Bhagavatam. In that, an entire chapter or two is all about how do you have devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. And he's described very beautifully in that. Even he's given explanations about just in Golok Vrindavan, making that pan for Lord Sri Krishna. It's a huge ritual. How do the gopis select the pan? And then pan means betel leaf. How do they, fill the ingredients, whatever that has to go? How they, bring the choicest of the, the pan, that perfect, that color, whatever that is, right? The kind of the variety. And then what are the ingredients that needs to be filled in? And how do you fold it? That whole ritual is so beautifully explained. So just doing one act itself is such a nice devotion. That is called devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. Every aspect is so beautifully described. You must go listen. A lot of people don't understand this. It's a very big ritual. So you have to offer the best to the God. You can't give anything less. But people, my Guruji will say this. He is taught, he'll always say, we always calculate, for God means we have to always give less. We'll go argue with the flower wala. You know what? You will buy, you will spend one for a garment, 5,000 or whatever, even 10,000 rupees. But can't you not spend for the same thing for the Divine Lord Almighty, who is giving you, bestowing so much upon you? But we will calculate to offer to the God. We'll only give so much. That can't be the case. Open your heart and give. Goodness will come. See, God, there is very beautiful lesson. It is even in the last chapter we read. When you give, the universe will give you. So it doesn't mean how much you have. It means the heart to give. You might not have anything, but offer that leaf of tulsi, even 1 rupee or 100 rupees. Offer that much. You can give within your means. Nobody is saying you have to go outside of what you have and then offer within your means that which you can. Offer with love. So everything is a devotional service to the Divine. So you must go listen to this satsang on devotional service in Srimad Bhagavatam. Very sweetly explained by my Guruji. It's also there in Narad Bhakti Sutra. Narad Bhakti Sutra talks about only devotional aspect. Again, in that also there's a chapter on how do you serve to Lord Sri Krishna. Again, how do you, what kind of garments you have to offer to him? How do you worship him? How do you, sing prayers, glories? What kind of things you have to do? It's a lengthy, drawn process. So the gopis used to do this with Lord Sri Krishna and Vrindavan. So coming back. We do not want either your honors or the aeroplane from heaven. Give me only this one gift that I remain grateful to you forever. Baba said, it is only for this that I came here and began to feed you all, because of the tender affection I felt for you. After this, Baba went and sat on his seat near the railing. Madhavrao gave the signal to the lady, who at once became alert to the accomplishment of her purpose. On receiving the signal, she got up immediately and hastily going up the steps, stood courteously before Baba with great humility. At once, she offered the coconut and bowed at his feet. Baba banged the coconut against the railing with his own hands. And he said, Shama, what does this coconut say? The coconut is rattling too much. Shama seized the opportunity instantly and see what he said to Baba. This lady is saying in her heart, may it similarly rumble in my stomach and may it really happen what she is saying. May her heart be attached to your feet forever and her puzzle be answered. Please look upon her graciously and put that coconut in the lap of her sari. By your blessings, may sons and daughters be born to her. Then Baba said to her, what? Do coconuts produce children? So cute. How do you nurture such superstitiousness? People seem to have gone crazy. Shama said, oh, well, we know the power, the marvel of your words. So priceless they are that a long train of children will follow all on its own. But just now you're making a differentiation and not giving a genuine blessing. You're arguing needlessly. Give her that coconut as prasad. All right, break the coconut, said Baba. Oh, give it in her lap, said Shama. And the argument continued for a while in this manner. When ultimately Baba gave in, I must say this. See, this is the way the gurus work, okay? They're very sweet. It's not that they don't want to offer, but when you go say something, the masters are all knowing. They know what you need, but they'll have this cute argument and they say some things. I've experienced this with my Krishna Guruji, and I've seen many of the disciples of his going through this as well. When they are in some terrible moment, my Guruji will, put more complexities to this thought and to see why are they doubting him. At that moment, your mind will not have that steadiness, right? It's going to be wavering in the faith. So that time, my Guruji only wants to see, can you believe that I am with you? What shall happen? What shall befall? Why are you even dithering? Why is your mind wavering? I'm always there. He just needs to see that faith. But he'll encourage the sweet talk. Oh yeah, you're responsible for the marriage. You need to get married. Yes, you need to take on a job. These kind of words that he will use. Oh yes, you need so much money. You have to go back, to your wherever country, village. And he'll say, yes, you are very much required. You have to take care. Very seriously, he'll kind of put this kind of clouded fear. That's all Maya. He only wants to see, who are you going to prioritize? Is it God or the material world? But when you prioritize God and the Guru, everything will follow suit. What has to come to you, and if you need to get married at the opportunity, when the right opportunity comes at the perfect timing, God's appointed timing, that will happen. But by His grace, under His will, when you surrender His will, you will get the best. He knows what is good for you. He will never give you anything that is ordinary for you. And I'll tell you, in my own experience, what my Guruji confers on me is beyond what even I can even expect or imagine using this petty mind of mine. Whatever He bestows is the best of the best, nothing less than that. For everybody, all His devotees and disciples and the entire world, everything that comes from His is best for you. That is the greatness of this Guruji. That is the greatness of my Krishna Guruji. So have that faith. Have the faith in your Guru. Have the faith in the divine. You will get that which is beautiful. You wouldn't even have imagined. But what comes from Him is amazing. It's pure. Accept that and go ahead. So don't have the doubt. Don't show your doubts. Everything will happen beautifully well. He knows He already has a beautiful plan laid out. Don't destroy by bringing in your mind. So all right, break the coconut, said Baba. Oh, give it in her lap, said Shama. And the argument continued for a while in this manner, while ultimately Baba gave in. She will get a child, now go, he said. But Shama persisted. But when? Please give an answer. And when Baba said, after 12 months, he broke open the coconut with a bang. They both shared half of it, returning the remaining half to the lady. Madhavrao said to her, see, you are a witness to my words. If you do not deliver a child before the 12th month from today, is over, just listen to what I will do. If I do not bang the coconut in the same way on his head and send away this god from the mosque, I will give up my name Madhav. Okay, see, this is a vow taken, but you don't talk like this. You don't say this also. But you just need to have a faith. But here it's captured. Yes, that's the way they were, but you still don't say such things to your guru. And this is something I will caution. This is my Krishna Guruji has taught. So I am only giving you an explanation what my Guruji says. You still cannot say such things to the God that I can bang the coconut, even in jest, because Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has said, even in jest, when Arjuna had called, oh Madhava, oh Yadava, you can't call like that. You cannot call your Guru, oh Krishna. No, Krishna Guruji, Lord Sri Krishna, Krishna Guruji. The way of calling respectfully is very important. You cannot say, I will go and break coconut on Lord Sri Krishna. No, we cannot. So respect, how do you approach, how do you speak is very important. So even this is, yes, they have captured this lovely Leela. It's a Leela, but you still cannot do that. This is something my Guruji will say. There has to be humility and humbleness always. He is Lord Almighty. Learn that, understand. He's not an ordinary human being. Show your respect, your arrogance, ego, everything should be subdued. When you see the master, you have to be respectful. Your head has to bow down, not sit with arrogance or ego in front of the master. You have to be very humble servant. You have to show that, humility, absolute submissiveness is very important. That is when you will evolve. Not sit with arrogance and talk to him like that. No. You will fail. And that test, please know that when you do these kind of when you perform this kind of misdemeanors, the universe is going to slap back you, and that time you will not be able to bear it. That lesson goes for everybody, whether it's me or anyone else. I get my own experiences. Likewise, everybody will get their own experiences. There are no misdemeanors allowed. You need to understand, yes, misdemeanors, a lot of my Guruji might forgive, but his universe will never forgive. Know this. I will surely not allow such a God to remain in the mosque, and you will get the proof at the right time. Know that this is my firm resolve. Yeah, he's talking in goodness, but still you cannot speak like that. On getting such an assurance, the lady was very pleased at heart. Prostrating in obeisance before Baba, she then returned to her village with peace of mind. Knowing how deeply attached Shama was to him, Sai, who was tied by bonds of love to his devotees and whose wishes he always fulfilled, he was not angry with Shama in the least. But the Divine Lord Mighty might not be angry, but you cannot speak like that. This is what my Krishna Guruji has imparted. So this is the same knowledge I am here explaining. Yeah, this is a sweet conversation, but still you need to know, like I gave an example, what Lord Sri Krishna has taught. Even in jest, you cannot call him like that. You're committing sin. But the Divine Lord Mighty will allow you to do, because he wants you to burn that finger. You need to learn the hard way. Okay? To prove the words of the devotees that compassionate Sai, the only refuge of all who surrendered to him and himself, kindness incarnate, he always fulfilled very lovingly the promise made by his devotee. Shama is my favorite among my devotees, but he in his affectionate love does not know what is proper or improper. See? But it is the promise of the saints to fulfill the resolve that devotees make. So don't take anything for which you don't know. So that's what Baba is also very nicely explaining here. And so when 12 months were complete, Baba fulfilled his own resolve. When only 3 months had passed after Baba's blessings, the lady became pregnant. Fortunately for her, she bore a son, and when he was 5 months old, she came with him and her husband to Shirdi for darshan. Her husband also worshipped the feet of Sai Samarth with great joy and with great gratitude in his heart, offered 500 rupees to Baba. The same money Baba utilized later to build the walls of the place where his horse Shamakarna is tied at present. Therefore, contemplate on this Sai, remember him and meditate upon him. To Hemad, he is forever the refuge. Do not run around in search anywhere else. When there is a musk in one's own navel, why wander about for it? Hemad is constantly observed at Sai's feet and enjoys boundless happiness. The next chapter is even more interesting than this, as to how the loving devotees would joyously bring Baba in procession from the mosque to Chavdi. Similarly, the story of Baba's handi, distribution of prasad, and other humorous stories will come in the next chapter. Listen to them, O listeners, and your eagerness to hear them will increase. We'll be to all. Here ends the 36th chapter of Shri Sai Satcharita called Sais, All-Pervasiveness and the fulfilment of his blessings, as inspired by the saints and the virtuous and composed by his devotee Hemad Pant. Thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Wishing you all a very happy Dashara once again. See you all tomorrow. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Shri Gurudev Datta. Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Digambara Digambara Shripad Vallabha Digambara. Om Shri Krishna Guru Nathanataya Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Devi Durgaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum.